about what was happening in Alabama, how gay marriages would move forward today unless the Supreme Court stepped in.
So in the last few minutes, we have heard from the High Court the justices will not stop same-sex marriages in Alabama despite a request from the state. So gay marriages can begin today in the state of Alabama.
All right, there's your update for you. Let's check in with Melanie right now as we're getting doing a little spring cleaning. Morning, Mel.
That's right. Yeah, it's not quite spring yet, but this is probably the good time to start digging down into your computer and seeing what perhaps you might need to get rid of. It is National Clean Out Your Computer Day. I didn't know this, but it's probably something we all could use. And joining us now is Riley Severe, who is our tech guru here, who's going to show us basically what we need to do, especially if your desktop looks a little like this.
It definitely needs a little cleaning. So I usually like to start out any kind of spring computer cleaning with updates, and you can do that. Go to Start, and if you just type Update, you can usually see where it's going to tell you need updates.
Okay.
So one of the big ones is always do your Windows updates. It's safe, it's secure, it'll keep your computer healthy and faster.
See, every time I get one of those, I'm like, I don't have time for that.
It's worth it. In the long run, it'll make your computer just a better machine.
Okay.
And you'll enjoy it, which is important. And then you can also check for updates down in your system tray. If you go in, click the up arrow, you can actually hover and see things. So on this computer, in fact, needs a Java update. Simple.
So you should be doing your updates.
Always do your updates. Your updates will keep your computer safe, it'll keep your personal information safe, and overall, it's just a better experience. Things will run quicker.
Mm-hmm. Do people generally have a ton of, when you go into someone's house and they say, hey, my computer's not running right, do they have just a ton of garbage in there?
Typically, yes. Usually you can go through and run updates, and usually they have anywhere from 10 to 180 updates to run right off the bat. And that slows the computer down, and it needs those. So
another reason why you want to keep up with it instead of having to do them all at once.
Right, and that way you don't end up, well, spring cleaning.
Right, okay. So what else, so we talked a little bit about cookies, and those are, I know, little, like, markers that are stored on your computer.
Little bits of information websites put to kind of help your browsing experience, but it can also hurt in some malicious websites' intents. So what you can do is you can go in, you can click your Start button again, and if you type in cleanup, one word, disk cleanup's going to pop up.
Okay.
All right, and this will work on Windows 7 and 8, and then you'll select your drive. Usually it's going to be your C drive, and you'll click OK. And you'll give it a sec, the computer's going to think about it, and it's going to look for all the files that it might not need. So it's going to go through, and while it's doing all this, this includes not only those cookies, those internet files, but it's also looking at, like, oh, a file crashed and it made a log report. It's going to look at all those and evaluate them as possible ways to clean up memory, clean up hard drive space, and give you more utility of your computer. So while this is happening, the other place you can look at that a lot of people won't think to is your downloads. This will get cluttered. Everybody downloads
you
things,
download stuff
and you never remember to delete it.
I worry that if I delete it, then but my thing is, my whatever item I was looking for is already downloaded, so I don't need this anymore.
Right. So you might not necessarily need it. So this is a great place to clean up space on your computer as well. All right. So, and then I think the final place that you really want to check around is your documents. Some people like to store things on their desktop. Clean it up a little bit, make it a little more usable, put things in folders so you can find them. My Documents is a great place to do that, but it can also become a clutter. So make sure you keep your My Documents clean. Go through, just take a few minutes, see if there's any duplicate pictures, duplicate files, maybe a couple revisions you don't need. And I think that'd be a great way to get your computer just going a little bit more.
Right. What about your browsing history?
So your browsing history is an interesting stop. Some people love to keep it. That way they can always find that page from way back when about that one guy. Some people love to clear it up. You can actually get rid of that if you type in Internet, Options, right? And you click on that, and it'll be the first one that comes up again, right? And you can go into Advanced, and you can click Reset, or you can go into Content, Privacy, right? And you can do Clear Sites. And then the last one you can do is, Programs. Yeah. So you can do your manage add-ons and handle stuff from there.
Is there anything that you might do here where it's just an unrecoverable error? Like, I don't like to mess with it because I'm afraid that I'm going to delete something that I should not have deleted. And then I have to call you.
My best policy is if you're unsure about something, call somebody you feel is qualified to do it and have them make the decision. It's very hard to do it if you use the built-in tools. So that's probably your safest bet. So this is actually loaded, and we can go through, and if you delete any of these, your computer's still going to work.
Okay. Well, great. Awesome tips, things I never thought about. Where can we check you out online?
You can check me out at casaplex.com, CASAPLEX.
Great. So if you have any other questions, just ask Ryan. Right? Riley, not Ryan. Good. Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
All right, Melanie, thanks so very much. Yeah, you know what? I have a lot of work to do on my computer. For